What happened to the cool kids from high school? I was 16 and thought the older skaters at our local park were basically gods on wheels. These guys could land tricks I'd only seen in Tony Hawk videos, and they rolled around like they owned the concrete. The leader Cameron had face tattoos and drove this murdered-out Honda Civic that sounded like a chainsaw. I spent months trying to get them to notice me by practicing kickflips until my shins were purple. One Friday night, they finally invited me to skate with them after the park closed. I felt like I'd won the lottery riding behind their crew through the empty streets. We ended up at this abandoned warehouse where they had rails and ledges set up like their own private park. I was trying so hard to impress them that I didn't notice the weird energy until it was too late. Cameron started making fun of my board, saying it was a Walmart special, even though I'd saved up for months to buy it. The other guys laughed and started pushing me around, taking turns knocking me off my board. What started as hazing turned into something darker when one of them grabbed my board and snapped it in half over his knee. That deck was everything to me, and watching it break felt like watching a piece of myself get destroyed. They kept escalating and started throwing punches. 5 guys against one skinny kid who just wanted to fit in. I tried to run, but they caught me and held me down, while Cameron went through my pockets, taking the $20 I had for gas. They left me bleeding behind the warehouse with my broken board and told me if I showed up at the park again, they'd put me in the hospital. I walked home crying with my split lip and black eye, trying to figure out what I'd done wrong. My mom freaked out when she saw me, but I told her I'd wiped out trying a trick. She wanted to call the cops, but I knew that would only make things worse. These guys basically ran the skate scene in our town, and getting them arrested would make me a snark forever, but I couldn't let it go. That broken board sat in my room like a monument to my humiliation. Every time I looked at it, I felt that rage building up inside me. After a week of stewing, I came up with a plan that seemed genius to my 16-year-old brain. I knew where Cameron parked his precious Honda every night behind the skate shop where his older brother worked. I snuck out at 2 a.m. with a bag of sugar from our kitchen, and my heart pounding so hard I thought neighbors would hear it. The car was right where it always was, under the broken streetlight. I popped the gas tank and poured the entire bag in there, knowing it would destroy his engine when he tried to start it. I felt like a criminal mastermind walking home in the dark. The next day, I stayed away from the park, but heard through Instagram that Cameron's car wouldn't start. He posted angry stories about someone messing with his ride and how he was going to find out who did it. I should have known these guys had cameras everywhere, but I was too proud of my revenge to think straight. By that night, Cameron had pulled the security footage from the shop and seen me clear as day pouring sugar in his tank. They came to my house the next evening when my mom was at work. I heard the pounding on the door and knew exactly who it was. Cameron was screaming through the door that I was dead, and they were going to teach me what happens to snitches. I hid in my room calling my mom and begging her to come home while they tried to kick the door in. Just when I thought they were going to break through, I heard sirens, but the cops weren't there for me. 3 squad cars pulled up and officers jumped out with their guns drawn, screaming for everyone to get on the ground. Turns out our elderly neighbor Mrs. Chen had called about the noise, but when the cops ran Cameron's plates, they found warrants. They arrested all 5 of them right there on my front lawn while I watched through my bedroom window. The next day, the skate park was empty for the first time ever. Word spread fast that Cameron's crew had been dealing meth out of that warehouse where they'd jumped me. The cops found a whole lab in the back room along with enough product to put them away for years. Their tough guy act was just a front for their drug operation, and they'd been using the skate scene to recruit young dealers. I got my sugar money's worth of karma without even trying. Cameron's precious Honda got impounded and crushed. The whole crew got sentenced to serious time. The skate park actually became fun again without them terrorizing younger kids. I bought a new board with the money I saved from not having to pay for Cameron's engine damage.